What's going on, everybody? It's Vaaraiant and welcome back to another video. So rotation just happened and everybody expected this deck to fall off because of the loss of Refinement Kirlia, but actually Gardevoir EX is pretty strong and actually it's the one deck that's bullying Dragapult, to be honest. So let's dive into the deck list. We start off with only 3 Worlds because now we do not focus on Kirlia, we do not have Refinement, so most of our plays is just trying to get into Gardevoir EX as fast as possible. As you can see, that's why we play 3 copies of Worlds, 2 copies only of Kirlia, and 2 copies of Gardevoir EX. Our main play will usually be Rare Candy into Gardevoir EX. The Kirlias are just if we are item locked so that we can utilize them. And speaking of item lock, we are a deck that also quite utilizes Bidoof quite a lot. So you try to set up and use Bidoof and do it slowly. Or you can actually also just try to be aggressive, which is quite a big change for the deck. We also have Klefki that is pretty helpful into Terra Box, and Raging Bolt, Drifloon that is usually our main attacker paired with Screamtail as well. And the deck cannot, of course, live without Monkey Dories. We play 2 copies of Monkey Dories, and the optimal setup is to have both of them alive by turn 2. You know, that's quite hard to do, but it can happen, and those games really go into your favor. Now, the special addition into this deck is the Little Clefairy EX, which is just broken. You basically, your whole deck is doubling the damage into Dragapult, because it's all psychic, as long as you have Clefairy on the bench as well, which comes also pretty broken. You can power up Mew EX and give Dragapult EX a taste of their own medicine and knocking it out in process, doing 406 damage counters on bench. With pairing that with Monkey Dory, you might take some cheeky KOs on the side as well, getting rid of another Dracloak, which is pretty broken. Of course, Serendipity EX has to be in every deck right now, and since we're using 2 prizes like Mew and Little Clefairy, Serendipity is of course in. Now, for the supporters, it's a little bit different than, you know, the previous builds. We have 4 copies of Iono, but it's not the supporter that we focus the most on, because we also have 3 copies of Research. Usually 3 copies of Professor's Research. Usually this will be used a lot more often, but I like the trade-off of having 3 Research and 2 for Iono, but you can switch the numbers here as well. We have 2 copies of Arven that help us get, for example, Rare Candy and the Bravery Charm, so that we can start knocking out the Pokemon as soon as possible, and 1 copy of Boss's Orders as well. Now, moving on to Pokemon Search, we have 3 Buddy Puffins, because of course Worlds, Bidoof, Klefki, Drifloon, they're all under 70 HP Pokemon, and you can get them with the Buddy Puffin. We have 1 Nest Ball as well, which helps us get out our Monkey Dories, our Serendipity, Mew EX, Little Clefairy, based on the situation that we need, and 3 copies of Ultra Ball as well, helping us discard our energy that we need in the discard pile, and of course get the evolution Pokemon that we need, or the basic as well, based on the situation. Then we play 3 copies of Earthen Vessel, of course, to get the energy in hand and try to discard it, preferably with an Ultra Ball. And as I was mentioning before, we play 3 copies of Rare Candy, because Gardevoir right now is more of a turbo build, so you try to go first, get Worlds in play, and then if you don't get Bidoof, you just Rare Candy into Gardevoir and you start swinging. So, just as a quick intermezzo, I want to mention that I have memberships available on my channel. Yes, I have finally reached that milestone in the YouTube career. So, if you want to support the journey and of course earn some unique perks with it, make sure to check down below and become a member. We of course play 2 copies of Night Stretcher as well, which allow us to get back our energy or Pokemon into the hand. Usually we're gonna power up Drifloon, is gonna be knocked out, and we're just gonna Night Stretcher back, power it up again, and repeat the process. We also play 1 Super Rod in case we do not have a Night Stretcher and we need to recycle more resources back into the deck, and 2 Counter Catchers as well, because Gardevoir can come back from behind, and Counter Catcher is quite a vital part of the deck when it's trying to set up. And Sometimes in this meta, Gardevoir needs a lot more time to set up than it did in the previous, but also it's just the way around. Sometimes it just pops off immediately. And our ace pack of choice is Secret Box, which helps us do that. So if you can get 3 energy in hand, you can use Secret Box, discard all 3 energy and grab basically everything you need for that turn and future turns. Oops. Then yeah, this is pretty much a broken ace spec for the deck. Now we also play 1 Technical Machine Evolution, but it's not a big of a focus. We do not play 2 because, you know, we do not need Refinement Kirlias, that just in case we're expecting a Bidoof lock so that we can get into Gardevoir more quickly, and 3 copies of Bravery Charm so that our Drifloon can, or Screamtail can just swing all the time for knockouts. We of course pair them with Monkey Dory, and it's pretty insane combo. We also play 2 Artazon because Secret Box allows us to pick out a stadium as well, and Artazon is nice to sometimes bump the opponent's Terra Stadium, Area 0, or their other stadiums like Jamming Towers. And of course it allows you to get a Monkey Dories, Screamtails and all the basic small Pokemon out. Now, moving on to energy, we play 3 copies of Dark Energy because we want to utilize 2 Monkey Dories at all times, so just in case one gets prized, we still have 2 in deck all the time. And then we play 6 copies of Psychic Energy, and that's the most optimal number in this deck, and it's pretty insane how Gardevoir actually farms Dragapult, and it's not so bad into other decks. So I think this version is of course better than paired with Zoroark, and yeah, we're probably gonna see a lot of success of Gardevoir throughout the current meta. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Let me know if you will try Gardevoir out in this meta, in this format, and yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Goodbye.